All right. Got wrecked under caution in a super late model fixed race by an idiot that kept bouncing it off the apron and was so slow through the corner because of it. And I accidentally got in the back of him. And so he intentionally wrecked me under caution. So we're going flying. Because, yeah, that's enough of that. Here we are in Roanoke, Virginia. We are taking off here. We're going to head down this highway. Not sure what highway it is. We're going to go to Martinsville. Right now has I think a no-fly zone, or got to be above 3,000 over it. So we're going to check that out. Martinsville's probably going to look pretty terrible. And then we'll fly by this airport here, maybe do a touch and go. And then we are heading to, where the hell are we even going to? I've already forgotten. This is a viewer request to do that. Going to Greensboro. So that will be down here at this big old airport. So, I don't know the area well. Pretty much just going to be following this road, looking around, seeing what we see, and hopefully it is somewhat entertaining. We are in little X Cub. My Piper got an update and it didn't update right, and now I can't get it to install correctly, so I would have flown that. Instead, we're going to fly this. And went with something with autopilot just because I've got a very cheap stick, and so you can see that it stops and then it goes full, and that's not very good for flying. So we will go take off. Looks like we've got to make a left and head over there. We got 25 knot winds according to AWAS, so let me figure out where the hell the parking brake is on this. Where do you be? I think I would pay attention and figure this out before I start a video, but no, apparently not. Let's go. Does not get any of it. I used to have a there we go. I had a hotkey for it. That makes it easier, and we're going to taxi off. Taxiing in a tail dragger is annoying, especially in a game when it's really hard to get it to kind of sit up and look left or right over the nose. But I think I am going in the right direction. We'll be taking off on that runway, heading southwest, and hopefully have a decent flight. Been having some weird issues with the game since the latest update. Go upper position real quick. Make sure we're not going to run into anything. We could probably just turn here and take off from this point. We don't need the full runway. There's not a whole lot left down there, so real quick, make sure nothing is coming. I don't have AI on, so obviously there would be nothing. And then what do we want? I don't know if we even put flaps up for takeoff in this. The wind is going to pop us up really quick with this, and we're not going to be going too quick heading south with this wind. Well, let's see what this area of the world is like. And get shoved off to the left just a bit, up in the air. So none of these, like, this is all AI generated town. It's not photogrammetry. Go ahead and head off to the end of the runway and then we'll get turned. I might be able to fly this by hand fairly easy. RPM, yes we do. Pop that down to 96. And we're gonna head left here. Let me pull up my map and get that on my second screen. I know I've got a GPS in front of me, but it's a lot easier for me to follow on SkyVector and be able to point out names of things, especially since I have no idea any of this area. So I assume this highway that is off to our left is what we're going to be following, and it's eventually going to turn down. We're gonna head up through those hills or to someone in Nebraska. Those are definitely mountains to me. Let's get turned here and start heading south, and we'll catch the highway once we see it. I don't know if it's a highway or an interstate that I'm trying to find, but I assume since it's connecting to pretty big populations, it's going to be fairly large. This thing trimmed out a bit. And it does look like we got a bit of cloud cover and rain. We're going to stay pretty low. Able to see quite a bit. We have right now 2,000. Let's go ahead and throw that on. We'll just have it do altitude hold for me, and just take a quick look outside. Alright, so we got some hilly bits. Looks like most of these ridges are at 2,000 or lower. So we'll just be coming up over top of this thing. Maybe I'll head off to heading select, and that will be easier too. Autopilot doesn't like it when you try to do other things when it's trying to hold altitude. Let's go to the right of this ridge and try to pick up this highway. Actually, is this it? I think that is it. Get this centered on aircraft. Go out around this ridge and then pick it back up. Golf course off to the right. And that peak in front of us, I believe, is at 35.7 is what I'm looking at. Probably going to get kicked around pretty hard here. I don't want to get up too high though, especially with this cloud cover. Get around this ridge, get turned back to the left. The red line on the screen is taking us directly to the airport just west of Martinsville. Let's get it turned over here. It's a very lazy way of flying, but until I decide I want to buy something better for a joystick, it does what it needs to do. We could have easily went over that ridge, but get to see some more stuff down here. It's like maybe a railroad down there, or just a road. It's hard to tell. Oh, we got some light getting split through raindrops, and we're gonna have to gain some altitude. Definitely not doing legal things here. Get turned around this one. Didn't think it was going to be cloudy, foggy. But I guess it has been raining all weekend, so makes sense. And the accuracy of the weather is not that great. So we should have a road. Yep, we got the interstate down there. Turn it back to the left just a bit to follow the interstate, which I assume go down here. This X-Cub is just like tricked out with all of the equipment with the glass cockpit and everything, so that's why you just heard the altitude above ground call out there. I feel like Martinsville is going to be very difficult to spot here, but got a ways to go till we get to that. Should be the interstate's going to go off to the left and then come back towards us. Flatter land around here, more farms. Should have a lake coming up somewhere around here. And we're still quite a ways away from that. But off to our right, looks like the peaks are at around 3,000. We're in this nice little valley, 2,000 feet. And we're sitting pretty close to the ground. Lots of little lakes showing up. I haven't seen... I guess there is little random ponds. So we should be fine on altitude all the way through here. The lake's going to be at, looks like, 1,200. Try to figure out where this little creek is. Okay, so we got Gogginsville. That's how you say it. Somewhere over in this area. Along that creek. The creek still ahead of us. Alright. I do not even see it. It must be these trees. Back into a little bit of cloud cover. We should come up on the first larger city, Rocky Mount. Go ahead and get turned just a bit here. This game just looks so good, though. A little worried, though. Things are getting thick in front of us. I know we are good on altitude, but I still don't like flying straight into a cloud. So Martinsville is right about here. So we're heading right to where we need to. Just gonna have to blast through these clouds, I guess. Looks like we're gonna be in some rain. Then hopefully by the time we get down a little bit further south, we'll be out of this. Can hear some rain. See it streaming across the windows. Do we have... I don't even know how to operate... most of this. I'm used to my less sophisticated Piper. Alright, get through this rain. Hopefully very soon. Look like these were just little patches. What the wind is at Martinsville. That is Blue Ridge.
Kilo Mike Tango Victor automated weather observation
25.
1900 Zulu. Wind 252 at 17. Visibility tree. Skycan.
All right. Breaking through a bit of this cloud. Fortunately, it makes this not too exciting to see. Let's hop outside, maybe we can see a bit more as we get closer and closer to the ground. You know what? Cool thing about this is I can just go a few clouds. Now we can see things. That is how you deal with that. It's crazy that their graphics engine can just instantly go day, night, change the weather, whatever you want. Hardly any issues at all. This will make it more exciting to see. Don't need more rain. So, it's actually a bit flatter around here. Looks like the mountains head off further west. And then start even curving even further west. But now we are on the lookout for the interstate and then the town Martinsville, which might be over here now. I think we're kind of getting turned. So we're probably left east of the interstate. They've got some money, if that is a house. No, it looks like it's a little bit more than a house. Where are interstate? All these trees, there's the interstate. These trees make it really hard to spot things. I'm used to very easy Nebraska being able to spot things from 50 miles away. Alright, so we've got the interstate. And I don't think... I think we're fine. I think we're headed right towards town. Well, I don't know if it's really an interstate, but it's definitely a 4-lane highway. But, it's got access right off of it, so more of a highway than an interstate. We're just at maybe this is oak level. From the looks of the map. Now some of the buildings are going to be much larger than they actually are. It's just taking a bit of a guess on the dimensions of it. You got a larger building off that way, and is that Martinsville then? No, because this highway is going to go to the... that might be. Either way, the racetrack is pretty much right in line with the airport, so it's got to be right around here, this area. So we're headed pretty much near it, and the racetrack is probably going to look like just a bunch of buildings. Like Bristol itself is just one big building. Here's the airport off to our right. We can see the lights there. I would put Martinsville maybe right there. And you know what? I think I'm just gonna make this video just to pass over Martinsville and then go land at Blue Ridge, and then put a second video from Blue Ridge down to Greensboro, just so we don't get too many hour-plus videos. So we'll go over the track, and we'll do a pass over of the airport, turn around and try to land but that's going to be a bit ugly with a tail dragger, so. Lots of trees. I hope Martinsville doesn't look really stupid, but from what I've seen of some places, it can get pretty bad. Alright, so we got the highway again. That looks like it's heading off that way. Maybe the racetrack's over there. Let's take autopilot off. And let's go fly around. Am I still in upper position? Let's get in the upper position. So hard coming to a place that you've never been to, trying to find things just based off of roads. Put autopilot back on. This thing was not flying good. Find this damn track. There's the airport. Okay. Maybe one of these buildings over here. Way a bit. Looks like the private airport is just south of it, so it might be maybe that back there. This is gonna be much harder than I thought it was. Alright, so it's north of the highway, so we've definitely went past it. Alright. Autopilot off, trim this thing out. Let's head back this way. Is that it? I think we found it. Definitely looks like a roof trying to be a grandstand, or a grandstand trying to be a roof, but doesn't look like it. Okay. Holy crap. There it is. It doesn't look too bad. It's got some apartments around it, some houses, the railroad track behind it. I thought it was going to look a lot worse. But, yeah, as you can see, it's trying to figure out what the hell's going on there, which is very difficult for the AI to figure out, which sucks because most people are going to go look for stands, stadiums, and everything. But that was definitely not where I thought it was, or I was just not doing a good job of looking at the map and figuring out what I'm seeing. Let's head over to the airport and land this thing. call it a success. Since the wind has been, live wind has been turned off, it's just calm now, so we're just going to land heading this direction and call that a video. And if you want me to fly somewhere, go look at something, just post in the comments. I think I'm going to do a video where I try to land an airport, or land an airplane at all of the NASCAR tracks. So, Bristol won't be possible since it's completely broken unless it's been fixed. It'd be really cool if a place came out with a pack that would create all the tracks in better detail. But very, I don't know, not a whole lot of people are interested in that, probably, so. Alright. So this is just a single runway, it looks like. Go ahead and come off this direction. Should be a pretty simple landing. But again, I have not flown this that much. Probably a bit too high. We're fine. Backing off on throttle, dropping speed here. The airport altitude is 941, it looks like. We're about 1,000 up right now. That's the taxiway off to the right. We got the lights guiding us into there. And hopefully we got some pappy lights so that I put this on decently. Looks like off to the left there might be some white and red. Really hard to tell though. Looks like maybe there was construction being done or something when they did the photos, aerial photos of this area, but it's definitely got a bit of dirt or something right there at the end of the runway. Got two white. There might be some red in there, but that is very difficult to tell. Go ahead and drop off more speed. Get down to 70 into flap. Just holding the nose up a bit to drain off the speed. And there we go. Click flaps. Another click. We got 3 white. Drop it down. 2 white, 2 red. This thing can go really slow, especially with the flaps. Three red, that's not good. Let's go upper position. Oh boy. I clicked off the screen and lost all control. That was a big drop. Still got 1 white. Still 1 white. Still 1 white. Gonna be a little low, as long as we don't hit the trees on entry. little bounce. We're okay though. Apparently the AI did not draw buildings, or there are no hangars at this airport. Does happen. My hometown airport has the same thing, and yeah, it looks like it is missing the small hangars that they got over there. Turn here. Sometimes that just happens. Also, these smaller airports, they outline things so that AI doesn't try to generate some stuff, and then you get an empty airport like this, which is unfortunate. Looks like there's quite a few, maybe they're hangars? I assume they're hangars. There's definitely an FBO over here. But, yeah, so there you have that. Go over here and park it, and we will call that a video. Hopefully it was somewhat interesting. And like I said, if you want me to go somewhere, fly somewhere, look at something, let me know in the comments, and I'll let you know if it is something that I can do. And yeah, thanks for watching.